Good morning. It's November the 8th, 2017. Time to kick off another trading day with very little news overnight. I think the players out there are waiting to see what Trump's able to do in each of the countries that he visits. And of course, the big one will be China and what falls out of that meeting. So I think that's probably got the markets on hold here. We also have an auction week in Treasuries, and that tends to hold those markets in a trading range. Start with our disclaimer. Hypothetical or simulated performance results have certain limitations. Unlike an actual performance record, simulated results do not represent actual trading. Also, since the trades have not been executed, the results may have overcompensated for the impact of any of certain market factors, such as lack of liquidity. Simulated trading programs in general are also subject to the fact that they're designed with the benefit of hindsight. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profit or losses similar to those shown. Okay. We expect selling on the 10-year. Globex session held its own. The selling came above 12, and there hadn't been a lot of it. If we look at the profile, both on a TPO basis and a volume basis, it's leaning P. And if we put all of this together, I'll do an A split. You can see that we have P's behind us right here. So sellers into 16 would be expected. 15s to 19s would be a normal sell. We have a high of 15, so we put our sell at 14 to 18. The news today is crude inventories minus 2.5 million barrels is the forecast. It will affect the energy traders. Last night's APIs, crude drew 1.5. Gasoline built 500,000 barrels. Distillates drew 3.1. So it was mixed. The selling that we got last night was blamed on gasoline. They do like to see draws in gasoline because that confirms economic growth. In the private retail sector, so first sell is 14 to 18, 23, 27. Lots just going to be dependent upon what happens to the E-mini today. I'm going to play for a little bit lower, but 5 to 9, I might be really off on this one. My feeling is that they have to bring prices down without a major piece of news to move the 10-year paper. I could be wrong. It might take a 12 to get in. So, but I'm going to try to buy it on the cheap. Got below freezing again here tonight. We're supposed to creep up to 50 today, though, so pretty cold last night when we were out because the wind was blowing pretty hard, and the wind makes all the difference in the world, as everybody knows. In fact, when I moved to Wichita from Wisconsin a long time ago, I got off the airplane when we had one of these early winter storms in Wichita, and the wind was blowing like 30 gusts to 40, and it was temperatures in the low 30s, and I was cold. 24-28, number 1. 31 to 03, sell 1, sell 2. 7 to 11. On the buy side, 12 to 16 is number 1. 5 to 9, buy 1. 29.01, buy 2. Gold found some buying last night, or it did when I looked at it early this morning, or it had. So this high volume number at 75 is holding, and that leads us to that high right here at 83. We had an 80-82 sell last night, then an 84-86. So we'll make it 82, 84 sell. Picking up this, picking up that point, picking up those points. It's where resistance is, but it does look like we're trading up. And part of it could be the what's going on in Saudi Arabia. That has not worked its way through the markets nor that country. There's more to come. Last night they had over 1,200 bank accounts had been frozen, and with more to come. So this new Saudi ruler has to cement his base. He got rid of the head of the National Guard, a religious fanatic, somebody that doesn't like being kicked out of power, somebody that's got the money. He's got exposure in a lot of different areas. 75.77 by 1, 70.72 by 2. Looking at the euro, they say we're going to get a new blast of Arctic air, the coldest of the season of this year. Coming down, looks like it's going to hit the Great Lakes in Pennsylvania, Jersey, New York, more so than us. We'll be on the southern fringe of that. Okay, 1625, 1635, sell 1, 1650, sell 2. On the buy side, 116 even. Looks like we're trying to trade lower, and then 75 to 85 for buy 2. Crude oil. You know, it's not only on Wednesdays that we have 30 to 40 tick day session ranges. It's on other days too. So the volatility in crude oil has really come down, which puts a premium on us executing at the market's edges. Got so excited I went to the F4 screen. Time to trade, right? So we're going to have to let the market come to us. So buyers at 75. Looks like perhaps sellers at 25. So 25 to 50, sell 1. 75 to the buck, sell 2. On the buy side, we've got a B, so maybe 50 to 75. We can buy a little cheaper today. Don't know. Might take a 90 to get in. We will see. Then 56 even, 56 and a quarter by 2. But we're looking for 30, 40 ticks before the news hits the market, and we'll go for our usual news day trade and see if we can't pull that out. A lot of people will not trade that. There's a lot of uncertainty, but we also have volatility, which we usually don't get smoked on that. You just have to suffer the slings and arrows and then try to scratch the trade. But we'll try to do that today. Okay, Rand Paul, Ted Cruz, and others are coming out saying they can't vote for the tax bill because it doesn't really cut taxes for the individuals once you get outside of those that make less than $50,000 a year. In fact, for the top 20% of the taxpayers pay 95% of the taxes, and the people that make are in the top 20 to 10% like that. There are some cuts there, but if your income, if you're top 10% or more, your taxes actually can go up or will go up. And so that's not good. What Reagan did, and Bill Clinton was still enjoying the effects of the Reagan tax cuts. He cut taxes across the board, and he slowed down the rate of increase in spending. It was a Democrat Congress and Senate. He couldn't do a lot about it, but he did slow down that. And what we're seeing in this tax bill is that corporate taxes need to be cut if we're going to regain our competitiveness like we used to have. But you also have to cut taxes for individuals. And because the Republicans right now are Democrat light, and now they're going to become fiscally responsible, they will not cut spending, but they will have to make this tax bill revenue neutral. So it doesn't increase the deficit. So games as usual. I'd like to sell 90s or better. I see 75 to 80 as support, and really 90 to 95 as resistance. But this first little area right in here, this 85 plus or minus, 85, 87, 84, 86, sell 1, 89, 91, sell 2. Sell 2 would be preferred. 79 to 81, buy 1. Would like to get it done at 75 to 77 for buy 2. A little factoid last night. The House, Paul Ryan came on a show yesterday. He was out making the rounds. The House has passed some 365 bills. They're doing their job. The Senate has killed or has tabled 308 of those. So it's the Senate, and John McCain says it has to be bipartisan, but he wants to be bipartisan with a group that historically has not been bipartisan. So it's the Senate is where Trump's problems are in the tax bill. So we'll have to see what happens with that. Okay, it's going to take a bit to get everything up and posted. I'm going to get busy with that. I will be back with you as soon as possible.